Hey guys, how's it going? July 31st, 2022, and we're back into Run8 Train Simulator version 3. Um, wasn't too sure I was going to do this tonight. I actually had other plans both this morning and this evening. Just didn't have the ambition to do the plans that I originally had. So, this is, I guess, the seconds. Now, I have been playing Sail Away for a while. I do enjoy that. I'll constantly go back to that, but there's only so much you can play of that, and it's kind of weird. If my son and I are playing, we go back and forth. Like, he'll run an hour, I'll run an hour. I can do that with Run8, which I may do, but we'll see, especially in single player. So I'm changing focus as to what I'm doing, just to see what it's like in single player. I hadn't done this with version 3 since the very beginning, and I know it's better, but I want to try it, and I'm not taking away from the help that I do get, or I have had on the server. It's just I want to run things a little bit differently this time around if it ever gets to that. But I also want to plan. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to start from scratch. And I'm going to run the same territory that I was running the last server that I took down back in. So the server's not up right now. It will not be back up at least until the fall. And my son's going to be down here during the weekdays. I'm not running the server. So, it's too much noise and crap going up. There's a lot of reasons as to why I decided to take down the server. I thought it was the best time to do it. People were busy. My son was, bored as hell upstairs. I know the feeling, when people are working in the house and whatever, and you have days off on vacation, and he's just like, man, I just got to get the hell out of here. This was kind of his way away from all that crap. So he's got that freedom, I've got that freedom, and we're just going to go with it. So, having said that, we're going to go with this tonight. I'll see how it goes. I don't know how long I'm going to go with this, but we're going to try. So, first off, when you first start out, you want to go into extra board to something. This gives you a perfectly, you don't want to start off with one of the territories. Now, you can. I recommend you start off with a blank area. Load it up. That way you get the trains in that you want and all that other stuff. When you look at the trains that you have, now I already have, well, first of all, Shift F2. I have AI trains enabled. I have minutes between AI spawns. This is my preferences. You can play around with these to whatever you want, whatever you decide. There's no real right or wrong answer. Just keep in mind that the more you give auto, the likelihood that things could go wrong. So you can't, if he gets overwhelmed and he has less decisions he can make, things are going to go wrong. That's just the way it is. And he will not know how to get out of it. So there's no AI trains on the line right now. You may or may not have everything that's here, depending upon the territory. I'm running the entire territory that's available in the southeast right now. That will change. When Fitzgerald comes out, I actually plan on running Fitzgerald exclusively. So I will switch from running Waycross and A-Line to running Fitzgerald sub exclusively. That's the plan. I will create spawn points coming in off of Waycross, and I'm just going to run that line. So there won't be any more passenger runs. It'll just be freight operations, and we'll see how that goes. At least that's the plan. These probabilities are ones that I've set. They can be adjusted. They all have particular spawn points. You can have trains that run on a schedule, or you can have trains, or not trains that run on a schedule, trains run randomly, or you can spawn them in yourself. I like to manually bring in the trains that I want to schedule. Now, for me to do that, what I do is I have a sheet system in Google that I use, and you can make your own sheet system. It doesn't have to be. This is the server schedule that I was using. I'm not even using that right now, so that's irrelevant. But this is a list of all the symbols. I researched this data from 2007 off of the what the hell is that stupid site? Bullsheet, which is, you know, really no longer updates, but you go back to the Wayback Machine, you can get all these symbols. These are all the symbols that are in the system that are available. When I look at there's weights, I've got all kinds of calculations. Now the routings, the routing file you can update, and you may want to update as you see fit. You've got to be careful what trains are in the system as far as and what is in the routing. So there's ways to find that. If you go into what is it here? If you go into, now I'm going to click on AEI, version 3 routes. So you go into your whether it's C drive, E drive, Run8 Studios, Run8 Train Simulator version 3 content, and you go into the regions. I think it's a region. No, it's not the regions. I'm sorry. So you go into each. So say CSX8 line. You go into there, and you will see a XML document called Train Sim Routings. You right mouse click on that, hit edit. You will see what an XML file looks like. Now there's little applications available. I forget the link. I don't use it personally, but there is Highball has a good one that you can use to change things. But it's pretty simple. You can use it in a text editor. All you have to do is copy the same format. So if you didn't want G715, you just take this whole string out. You don't have to worry about counting or anything like that. You just copy, paste, or add it to wherever you see fit. So these routings are at the various locations. So when you see trains, the Jessup sub, so that's going from Folkestone to East Savannah. It's going to go down Folkestone. Oh wait, Folkestone Jessup sub. Folkestone to Waycross to Fitzgerald sub. Folkestone to Waycross to Fitzgerald sub. Yeah, I guess that's the routing. Yeah, so Seminole connection, trains going south of the Seminole connection. I have them all here. I have a copy of them here, so I keep a copy of all of them and just keep my symbols up to date as far as what's going on. I add what I need to, remove what is no longer there or needed. You may have some that are there, they're no longer used or whatever, blah blah blah. So that's how that goes. I have other little calculation things. Again, don't worry about what I use. It's what you want to do that counts. Waycross AEI, this is to use with my RTS software. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete all this data right now because I'm starting from scratch. So, there we go. I was wondering what the hell it was doing. And get rid of all this data that's here. Yep, there we go. And then over here, also get rid of that. That's the manual location data. So now I've got that. Should all have all that. Yep. Okay, we're all set. So that's cleared out. Alright. So AEI is fine. Waycross chart. Those are my capacity. What's in there currently, there's nothing. The schedule is the one that I'm working on now. So I don't have anything until 1 a.m. which is actually a Q455, which is going to be canceled. I have a Q602 inbound that I'm bringing in at 1 a.m. Now the key here is I want to be careful as to what the hell exactly I'm bringing in. Q602, I just have to make sure I know which. It says inbound, outbound. I should have exactly where these trains are coming from. I don't know why I have two Q455s in there. Beats the hell out of me. They're both the same thing. Q456 is in there. I don't know why I have two of them, but they're there. I shouldn't have to have two Q455s. That doesn't make sense. Okay, whatever. Well, how about we just take one of these out of here? Because that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So Q602 is an inbound. So if I was to take a look at Q602, this would be the first inbound train that I would want to spawn. And again, this is all from my end. This isn't, the sheets aren't anything right now that anybody else uses but myself. It's to keep everything in check. Oops, well, let me see here what we got here. Symbol raw. So if I look at Q602, yeah, Q602 comes from Callahan. That's what I thought, but I'm looking at the wrong thing. Just bear with me a second. I just want to make sure I got the right. Q602 comes from Callahan. Q455 is going to be canceled. So that's my first inbound train that I have to worry about. So it's not going to be too much action tonight other than whatever the AEI system. See, there's already a train that's been lit up. So if I go to AI status, and N102 is spawned. So these will start populating. They will run themselves. I'll make sure that the symbol's in there. And what we want to do now, let me just check the chat real quick. Nothing going on. So one thing that I'm trying to do is group this out a little bit better in Waycross. Waycross is a bit of a mess. In fact, I may change it. I'm tempted to avoid Waycross altogether. I was thinking about that the other day. The only way I can do that is to build the train. So if I wanted to, say you only had A-line, you didn't have Waycross, there may be a way around that. Which is kind of tempting. but I'm going to avoid that. I'm going to go ahead and I will just keep things the way I have them for now, because I want to test it out. So, but when you go into Control I, you can do this as long as the server's not on. This takes you into your industry configurations. So what happens here is you can take a look at all the different things that you have. So those are your industry configurations. I'm just trying to think the fake industries here. Let me think now. It's been a little bit since I've been in here. Okay, so like Miami, Miami 2, stuff like that. I know what I got to take a look at. So I got time till 1 o'clock before I have to spawn anything. So this gives me perfect amount of time to go in and take a look at how things are going here. So the logistics was a chart that I used that spaced everything out. Tried to give enough cars for various trains. I thought about doing it that way, and then I thought about it a little bit more and thought, you know, it might be just easier for me to spread those trains out across all of them, so that every time a train came in, it's going to have cars for everything. I thought that might be more effective instead of the other. So when it produces, or if it's calling demand, I should say, so say like a Q602 or whatever. Was it 602? I think it was 602. Yeah, see, these are trains that are coming back out, which don't have demand. They have demand over here. Which is interesting. Just looking at the way I'm spacing everything out right now. Yeah, see, unfortunately, I'm thinking I gotta plan this out too, but then I'm trying to do a tutorial on how to plan these things out, and this is going to confuse the hell of a lot of you guys. It's confusing me, so I can imagine it's going to confuse you. So what I do is I split my I use something called fake industries. This is what I do. You don't have to go this far, but you can go as complicated as having fake industries. So what these fake industries are, and this was something that I was working on, and it's all about trying to get, so here's your first train coming out. It's all about trying to get the system to be even more not more predictable, but more, there he comes. there's no light right now. I am following this train for a reason. Actually, I'll go this. Let's keep on. There we go. So what I wanted to be was down here. There's a reason why I'm going this way. Okay, destination. No, that's not what I wanted. Industry tags on. I think that's what I want. Oops. There we go. So these are industry tags. And you'll see these at most industries. Now these are not industries, these are what I call fake industries. And what this represents is a blocking of everything that's coming out of Waycross. It allows a blocking to take place of trains that come out. Now, the weird thing is everything that's coming out of here is for southbound demand. So this is stuff that's going down. This is stuff that's going down the S line to Baldwin Yard, and then heading into the western side of Florida, up through Miami and all that other stuff. It bypasses the east coast. The East Coast is more of your commuter and vacation homes and all this, and so all of this is basically going around it, or however the hell that is. But anyways, I have a Q602 that I'm spawning here in an hour. It has nothing to do with this demand whatsoever. But if I was to go into here and say I was to do a Baldwin, I have a certain capacity at certain times that would come from that. So that's what that's all about. What I'm trying to do is space out the amount of traffic that could potentially go into, say, a train that comes outbound or northbound or whatever. 602 is one that's headed this way, which is a whole other ball of wax, because these are trains that so 602 can space it out, but it's going to contain trains going the other way. I'm not too concerned about the trains going the other way, but I think I do have something going on with them, but I'm not positive. I'm more concerned about the trains going the opposite way right now. Yeah, I think I don't know what the hell I did, to be quite honest. Okay, I know what I did now. So, what I tried to do was, with the northbound, let's say, I spaced it out so you would have an average of a 112 car train. So you got 20, 48, 50, 68, 75, 85, 95. That's 96. So I don't know where the hell the 112 comes from exactly. Sum of H44 to B44. To what? To BP44. Oh, okay. So yeah. So some of that went down to Florida Central. So because some of that's coming down to Florida Central, it's what it's doing is it's creating artificial demand. What was happening was Baldwin would fill up too quick for me. So I wanted to reduce Baldwin from filling up so much. And some of these other ones, like Baldwin has a car capacity of 29. So every train that was coming in, it was just literally filling this up. And I thought, well, that kind of sucks. I don't really want to do it that way. But can I do it another way? Can I do it so that these locals actually spawn in and call up trains that aren't so dependent on all that, or more, I don't know, what's the word, produces, let's see here, let me just see that for a second. Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know. I'm thinking out loud here, and I'm not making a hell of a lot of sense. And this is probably not the best idea for a start out video of coming back, because I got a bit of a dilemma that I needed to resolve. And what's happening is Baldwin gets filled up too quick. So I want to resolve that. But anyways, I don't want to complicate. So this is probably not the best idea of starting out, but it is something that I needed to deal with. It wasn't hey Bob, how you doing? It wasn't like a deal breaker or anything like that. It's just trying to get not as many cars called out for Baldwin. So what happens is you set it up. Okay, I'll give you an idea here. So let's say Q545, for example. So if we go to shift 2 and we go to AI trade generation, what's Q645, or which one was it? Okay, Q545, so it's a purple one, so that comes from, I know that is one that comes off of, sorry, wrong one, Q545. I know that comes off of, for me, which one is it? These are my little coatings. Manor siding. Notice there's no spawns on here. That's deliberate. But when you go into train types and you look at mixed freight, I do have trains. So I do have a Q545. Now it says tagged for industries. When you look at the filter, it filters out and it calls out only the particular ones. You see what I mean? So it only calls out the particular ones to try and space it out. I want to actually spread it out a little bit more. I would much rather have it all over the place. So if I was to do that, let me work some magic in here. I'm not going to worry about the train that's coming up. We'll call that up at what time is it? 39 after. We'll call that up and we'll probably ride that in. So for this one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go with a red text. Now the red is to indicate what is new but not yet added. Now you can see these capacities or whatever, they're looking like they're bigger all of a sudden. They're not though. But you'll see why in a minute. Oh, that's neat. It actually it was actually smart enough to figure out the number, because that's a calculated number. So that's 75% of the capacity. So that's a formula that just happens to go in there and say, okay, we're going to do it that way, we're going to do it that way. Alright. So you can see these numbers have gotten quite big now. Which is okay. Except it's got to compete with what's going on here. I could have every train come in and basically call for cars and see how it goes. It's really weird. It's like an all for nothing. It's like, okay, do you want to have one train supply cars for that industry, or do you want to try to get all of them to do it? The problem is, the way it does it is, when you supply a train, it looks for one particular train to supply it, an industry. It doesn't look for multiple. So the probability that you have of calling a lower industry is lower, and you're just multiplying it. I guess it kind of works out in the wash, but the chances, because low probability times low probability is even lower probability, if that makes any sense. I don't know if it does or not, but so I might try this here. Integer 22 divided by 3. Well, that's just going to keep doing whatever the hell it's going to keep doing, so. Yeah, I'm not even sure about this whole produces thing anymore. Because that changes right away, because now that's no longer... And if I'm calling that many cars, what's this 19 times 3? Okay, I don't want to see that. That I want to see. This is more important to me, is these ones here. So what this is the sum of H55 to P65. This is actually what's in the file. This is what they're calling every time. So I want to see this for a minute. This is the data that I really want to play with right now. Okay, so that's on that side. Let me go ahead and I'm going to pull in this as well. Where's A772 coming from? Alright, that's fine. So what I'll do there, integer 22 divided by 3. Well, I'm just going to call 22. I don't know where that divided by 3 is coming from exactly. I think I know, but let me see here. What time we got? 4:47. Oops, let me turn that off. So see, there was another train that came in. It's at N165. Not too sure where he is. Okay, so he's down here. So as you can see, this is how your AI starts generating. And it just runs. Now, nothing right now is feeding the yards yet. And I purposely have done that. I personally, or purposely, I should say, have left that out. And that's because I want to control the flow of traffic that comes in here. I don't want to leave it up to a random system. I want to have it more of a scheduled system so that I know what the car flows are going to be like. I do want randomization, but I also want to have a bit more control as to when the train's coming in, so it's not a... Because what a lot of happened when we first were running the server, a lot of times we'd get like one train and then the next day we'd get 5 or some crazy thing like that. And it winds up overwhelming whoever's in, Waycross. A lot of times I was stuck in Waycross. I don't want to be stuck in Waycross. A lot of the other things too, what I'm starting to change as well is I want to be able to have people who are on the server who not only, if they're going to run on the server, but they're going to make sure that the AI doesn't get stuck. I don't want them to spoil their runs, but what I want them to be able to do is check. And what I mean by not spoil their runs is, if I'm running a train, say I just ran this train, I don't want to be looking at the dispatch board. I want to be following the signals. I don't want to have to look at the dispatch board. However, if I'm running, say, for example, someplace else or in a yard or something like that, or I'm switching somewhere and it has nothing to do with what trains are coming, actually, when you're actually switching an area, you want to know what trains are coming, because Auto is not going to communicate with you. So those that are running yards or switchers are the ones that have to keep an eye on this, especially when Auto gets confused. It happened a lot. I'd be running the server and maybe one person would be on and then everything would just pile up, and that really was the breaking point for me. I was just like, okay, why am I running the server when, it wasn't the only thing. I had a lot of reasons why to take the server down for the summer as well. Among things, trying to restructure something that wasn't going to drive me nuts. So there's a lot of work involved in this to get it set up, and that's the thing. It's not going to be you can forego all this and just run one of the loaded scenarios and start from there. But keep in mind, you may or may not have the proper stuff to move those cars. Your data may not have everything that's on there. You may not have every industry, you name it. There's a lot of things that can happen. So I'm still going in. I'm trying to figure out as far as how many cars are in what industries. But let me just take a look at 772 here for an example. And I'll close that up for a second. No, that's not going to tell me what 772 has. I'm going to have to go to the industries. Or actually I'm going to go to the locals. So if I look at 772, no, that's not going to show it. Industry configurations. Okay, this is how I can do it. So you can sort from you go into your go Shift F2 again, and wrong one. Control L this time instead of Control I. You can go Control L, and you can see what cars are waiting in your industries. Now I started. If you did the same thing I did and started on a fresh state, you've got an empty one. You go into industry configuration, and you can start sorting the various locations. So 772 was the one I was talking about. So you can see 772 doesn't have too much. It has 5 cars of box cars, 881. Okay, so it's got 5 here, 881, so 17, 18, 19, 22. Oh, that's it. So there's only 2 industries. 16, 17, 18. So I got 22, right? Well, when you look at this, and you look at 772, (22 divided by 3). That's how I got that number. So the number that's actually being called is 22. I'm going to do it for each one of these here because I do have that number. This number divided by 3 was trying to split them. So what I want to do now is I want to separate this. I'm going to do this with the other guy too before I bring him in. And then maybe we'll run that train towards the end of the night and have some fun. W31 W31 divided by 3. I don't know what the hell that is. W31. is that one. Where's it getting that from? That's a Q457. Oh, I see. Okay. Alright, well, we'll just use that then. So you see, that's column 121. 152. Seventeen 162. Sixty-six 146 48. 66 146 48. 66 146 48. Okay. Now, some of them I was running. I'm going to go ahead and keep them in here for a minute, because I'm also going to do something similar. Yeah, I want to go ahead and do it that way. So, first of all, I want to get a percentage, or a total. First of all, let me get a total. We're going to sum, no, we don't want to sum that. I-97 to all the way over to this guy here. We don't want to go as far as Chicago. AF. AF97. Okay, so I want to, number one, I want to have, yeah, we'll do it like that. I want to see the number. Okay. So that's the total number of calls. if I was to take that and again, how you set up, you can set this up as complicated or as simple as you want. You don't have to go this far. You can just run supply trains and be as simple. I'm giving you ideas that are a little bit more complex, but you can average out, you know, how many cars you want to add in, or, you know, put a science in behind it. So this is probably more complex. I wouldn't recommend this as a traditional tutorial, but I will take you through things. I-97. Just want to make sure I get this right here. I actually like doing this stuff. Statistics and logistics. 97. So if I start on I, gotta think about this. I don't want to wrap my brain around this too much. What do I want to do? Anchor 97? No, I don't want to. Yeah, I guess I want to anchor 97. But I also want to anchor. Yeah, I want to anchor these. Yeah, we'll anchor. I'm going to anchor both of them. Anchors are so that when you copy formulas, you get the you get a percentage basically. But anyways, it's so when you copy, I should say, not you get a percentage. I'm thinking JI. What the hell am I at? I. I'm probably getting. It's not sum of I-97. It's the sum of H. I guess it would be H. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So this one I want to copy over that way. So H97 go like that. Okay. And I will format this to be a percentage. So I go to number, percent, so right away you start seeing the percentage of cars that are going to be on. So if I was to take the integer, which is just basically a number, that's a whole number of H98 times 100, as in a 100-car train. if I was to do that, it would come up with the number 3. And if I was to throw this all the way out here, now you can see what likely would get called. You can see an industry like a well, 772 got 1, but this Sanford one didn't get any. What was that coming in? Oh, he only has 4. .780 had none. So it thins out, right? So despite the fact that you may have 10 industries and 10 car types or whatever, it really thins out because a minority, a probability of a certain car type popping up becomes even more of a minority of a car type popping up. Now, it's not the worst thing in the world, because what that actually can do is it could actually eliminate certain industries from being switched. It may be a good thing, I don't know, but it also dilutes certain industries from never getting switched. It's a catch-22 basically. If I was to sum the total number here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to sum this up. Yeah, that's a good one. I don't know if I like that number, but we'll take it. Let's see what we got for a number. That's an 88 car train. That kind of falls where we're wanting to go. Now the question is, are we going to go the same way for these industries? As of right now, it's a little bit more wide open because, so here's what's happening. The trains that are coming in from the other side, pardon me, are split a little bit more evenly because there's more choices. There's still, I mean, it's bad enough, but they are split evenly. I haven't made all the fake industries, but because there's so many of them, it doesn't get too overwhelmed. Whereas here, this gets overwhelmed real quick. It's much easier to have 3 cars coming in for Baldwin as opposed to 20, as opposed to, well, I guess it would be, it would actually be about, yeah, it'd be 21. What that means is every train that I come through there is actually going to call those trains. Now the first train that I have coming out, I wanted to make sure I had that in mind. I wanted to do that formula. I've been wanting to do that for a little while. I can do the same thing with this, but it's going to take a long time to get all these fake industries in. I've only done the ones going southbound. Northbound ones I don't really care too much about because it's not as big of a deal. It's more of a big of a deal as a southbound. The reason why is because there's only so many tracks. As far as what goes out northbound, I don't care too much. It'll split it up. We just run trains whenever we have room to run them, and that's about it. And otherwise, I mean, I don't have to run so many tracks. That's the other thing. I could simplify Waycross, or I can eliminate Waycross. Waycross doesn't have to be run at all. It could literally just spawn trains out of it. It doesn't have to be. That's another thing you can do. If you don't want to run Waycross, if it's too much to run, you can create spawn points. You can have trains terminate. You can have trains do all kinds of crazy things. There's a lot of options available. So But anyways, I wanted to see how that worked out. If I look back at the schedule again on outbound trains, I've got a Q684 at 2 a.m. We're at 1 a.m., so we're looking at about 11:34. I'm going to go ahead, let me just check the chat real quick and see if anybody is... Hey Bill, how's it going? So, Waycross Logistics, which we're in right now, we've got an average of 88, which is actually a pretty good average. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start on the... What's the next train that's coming? I'm going to see how this train looks. So Q684 is coming in. 2:30. It's another one that's coming in. Oh no, he's an outbound. So Q491 is the inbound. 2:30. I don't know if we're going to get that far. 2:10. That'll be about 11:35. We'll see. I'll come back to it. Let me go ahead and I'll bring in the inbound here, and we'll get this show on the road. So I'm not going to look at the traffic too much. I'm just going to hop, see what I got. Whoops. Let me see what we got here. And we'll ride a train. We'll ride a mainline train, see how it's like. Haven't done that in a long time. Routings, what do we got here? So this is how I run the schedule. If you have the routing set up, everything else is going, boom, you're fine. You know, you just go ahead. So in here, I'll just write canceled. Canceled. This is just my little sheet to know. Oh no, that's not cancel. That's going to be run. Okay, so I'm spawning that right now. So Q602 is going to come right from here. If I look at Callahan, but I will put that calculation in there. I just wanted to have it while we were running time there and trying to set up things. But as I say, Q602. See how this does the tags. So this doesn't have the fake industries. That's the difference. And I'll show you what it looks like too. Oops. It's around here somewhere. Here. No, I don't need to do that. What the hell is that? Where the hell did that get in there? Oh, that's different. Oh, I'm looking at the different clients, and I've never seen that before. New server. Is that the servers? If I wanted to be a client and I go on to somebody's IP? Weird stuff. Well, I'm not hosting, so it don't matter. Shift F2. Q602. Okay, so I did say spawn it, right? See how it spreads it out evenly? RNC, CFE. It's so evenly, and then the remainder just gets all thrown in, and boom, that's about it. There, now I'm stopping it. What the hell? What was that? I've never seen the steps go red. Was it because I had it active? Isn't that cute? I've never noticed that before. I noticed the rest of it, but I just never noticed it did that before. Okay, relinquish my train. Oh, no, that's somebody else. Alright. How's it going there? Oh my god. This thing is like... Alright. I'm just moving everything around here. That's better. I'll turn this way. Perfect. Channel 14 tone star 5. So if I go DMTF star 5. Well, it says you're in star 5. I don't know. Maybe you're 6. Okay, do I have to change channels because I'm in single player? Really? Okay, what am I missing here? I don't know if I'm just out of range or what the hell's going on. Maybe I'm not on the board yet? No, I should be. Sorry, it's been a while. You went to 14. I don't know. My Tony's not working, so. Looks like the signal's fine. Looks greenish to me. Yeah. Yeah. Now this is what I mean by not being spoiled. So if I'm running a train, I don't want to be spoiled. Most people are running locals or yards, so it doesn't really apply too much. Start a counter. One thing I want to get is my RTS software going before I forget. Yeah, I'll just start with notch 1 for now. Okay, so want to go with just basic. Where the hell we are. Oops. I got a crossing. That's okay. We'll pretend. So this will start recording my AEI detectors. It only records Waycross right now. I've never really upgraded the software. Okay. There, I'll pretend I honked. So there's another simulator in 2023 called Railroader. If you guys hadn't heard, I mentioned about that one. That one has got me very intrigued. Like I said, there's no issues with Run8. No issues with trains as far as I'm concerned. I prefer Run8 over trains. I haven't run Run8 in a little bit. I was gonna take a break. I didn't know how long. I didn't know if I was coming back again. Who knows? But I wasn't taking it off of my system. I was originally, a couple days ago, I was going to do something, and then I was just right away, I was just like, no. Tonight I was the exact opposite because I was actually going to start developing something. And I was like, no. I was just not in the mood to develop. I was just like, I did that this morning. I procrastinated. I just, no, I'm not. Even though I was wide awake. Like I woke up both days, Saturday and Sunday. Saturday I was going to get into this. I didn't. Sunday, I was changed my focus and said, you know, now I got the development bug in me. The simulator that's coming out is really intriguing. It's transition era, Appalachians. It's Proto-Lance, Appalachians, North Carolina, and I mean the demo shows a steam train. I posted it over on Train Sim. I might post it on the Discord as well too, but it's got multiplayer. But it's called Railroad, or it used to be called Shortline Operations. So it's called Railroad Shortline Operations. I'm telling you right now, I've already had a reply from the developer. This thing is exactly what I've been looking for. In many ways. It's only 17 miles of track. No, there's no AI. No, there's none of that other stuff. But there's a purpose. And that's all that matters to me. There's a financial part of the game, apparently, where you actually make money and you buy stuff or something like that. I think there is. Even if there wasn't, I wouldn't care. The fact that it actually represents a short line that transfers in off of I was thinking of doing something similar myself at one time. It's not what I was planning on developing this weekend, but that's something totally different. And for now, that's just going to have to stick on the back burner because it's more fun playing than developing, I'll tell you that right now. I just don't have it in me. You give me something that I know I can do, then it's not that I can't do it. It's I can do it. It's just I gotta reteach myself everything because I can't remember anything. Like look at me trying to tone a dispatcher. I can't tone a dispatcher for some stupid reason. I don't know why. Go to channel 0. Don't know what the hell's going on. I've never had problems toning the dispatcher in this, so I don't know what the hell I'm doing wrong. Oh shit, I didn't want to do that. Like I said, I don't like cheating and looking at what's coming up. So there's a tone 6. Let me try this one more time. I didn't mean to do that. I don't know. You guys remember how to tone a damn dispatcher in this? What the hell's that? What is that? Render dispatch center screen. What the hell was that? What is render dispatch center screen? I don't even remember seeing that. Oh, okay, I know what that means. Okay. It's some other little thing. Something to do with, I don't know, whatever. I think I know. It was a feature add-on or something. I looked at it, I was like, I don't know what the hell that is. I know you can tone on channel 6. Star 06, Star 05, I don't know. Peace out on me. Okay, anyways, while that's going on, I was going to do this. For now. I was going to do this. What the hell was I going to do? Oh yeah. Let's take a look at this for a second here. And logistics, yep. Well, in order to get that, I just want to put it into the schedule file for now. Schedule, So it's going to be 684 is an outbound. It's the next inbound, which is Q491 230. Yeah. So I got some time. So the key is if you start out simple and just start letting the world populate, you'll have a much easier time, I find, than to dealing with somebody else's save, unless you know everything about that save. Yeah. That's not what I want to do. Where's this network status? Shift F2. Okay. So these are the trains currently running. Of course, they've always run a passenger. Those are the AI trains. I'm not counting myself. And around 2:30, we'll spawn another train. Sorry about the signals there. There it is. Unless that's a milepost, which, who knows. Can't tell half the time. So one of the things we're going to be able to figure out is how much physical hours it takes inside a Waycross. We won't know this particular day. We'll know the next day. So we start at midnight tonight. We go through, and then we get through a full day's worth of stuff, and then you'll see what happens. Of course, that takes some time, depending on how much I decide to run. Again, single player, month of August. Could go longer, who knows? May change my mind, may do something else, you never know. Never know with me. I wasn't even planning on running this tonight. It wasn't until about a little after 9 o'clock, I was just like, okay, well, I guess I'll run. So, saying I'm back. I'm not getting nitpicky. I need to rebuild my PC from the ground up. On version 2, I had... Oh, I don't know. I found the frames are better for me, personally. I don't have an issue with Run8. I can tell you that right now. Run8's doing exactly what I would expect version 3 and more. Would I love to see more things? Of course. We all would. But I mean, I've for some time, like, put it this way, Run8's a business. It's got to make money. Whether or not, the real bottom line is the majority of the people want to run multiplayer, big regions, and may populate the most popular servers and the most popular routes, that being Southern California. So not everybody's going to have the other routes. Not everybody's going to want to do other things. That being said, we got our first new region recently in Southern California, and it's Donner's Pass. and it's for the most part, a double track main line. Has a hump yard. It's really, I mean, I look at it as it's probably more scenic, I would imagine, than Needles. It's got to be, anything's more scenic than Needles. But I'm sure it's great. But I don't run for the scenery. I mean, the scenery, don't get me wrong, I love scenery. What I saw in Railroader, my jaws were dropping, this, and it was Unity. I'm thinking to myself, it was in friggin' Unity, and I'm thinking, this looks like Unreal. This is on par with what Train Sim World puts out. At least that's the vibe I got. And for 17 miles, I can guarantee you they can kick Train Sim World's ass as far as I'm concerned. And quite frankly, they could be in line for being a huge competitor for Run8. I'm not saying they will be, but Run8's going to be just fine. They don't have to worry about these guys. Do their own thing. They're always gonna have new people come in, especially prototype mainline class 1 railroads and multiplayer. Best train simulator on the planet, the whole deal. But what I saw in those few minutes of video, first I saw it in the few minutes of video, and right away I saw things in it that captivated me to say, whoa, now this is what I call an operational simulator. When I saw it, I saw number one, I saw great graphics. I saw ease of use of prototypical things. It may not be as I would imagine. I don't know how many people they had on board, to be quite honest. I would imagine it's probably not as sophisticated as Run8. Mind you, it's a Steam. They are showing the Steam engines right now, so I don't know. It's like comparing apples to oranges, really. But it's transition area, so I haven't seen video of the diesels. I don't know what the heck they're like. They're early generation diesels. Like, I don't know, they're GP7s or whatever the hell they are. But then seeing the switchless come up, and seeing the closing of the angle cocks, and the way you just point at it. You point at a friggin' handle, it's an angle cock. I mean, how simple is that? So, I'll see if I can do it here in the dark. I doubt I would, but probably not. But I'll have to grab onto a car here. Let's see if I can do it. Probably not. Not at this speed. Won't worry about that. But anyways, when you grab onto an angle cock, you get a menu that pops up. Close, open, drain, or whatever the hell this stupid thing is, to go partial. Now granted, I don't think they have a partial setting, but I don't know if the brakes were different then as well. It may be simplified, quite frankly. Probably is. I mean, I know they have a lot of things. In the one video, the developer said that they don't have skid or traction effort, or so basically you could basically take off and the thing wouldn't spin or whatever. So but I'm okay with that part. See, that part I've never been really too worried about. What I saw was I saw a switch list, and I saw a limited area with enough variety to keep a few people busy. That's exactly what a server like mine needs. It doesn't need for me to run a massive area. Now you could say, well, Sean, you don't have to run the whole region. All you have to do is take a yard. The problem that I've been having is trying to find a switching district. Because these are class 1s and these are big areas, it's difficult to find. Now, true, I could easily say, okay, I'm just going to run, pick your short line. I'm just going to run something out of Florida, or I'm going to just run, whatchamacallit, up in Bakersfield or whatever. And I could do that, and basically from there, that kind of solves it. What it doesn't do is allow me to. Well, here's the thing. This is the trick. And I don't know what's involved in it, because I asked the developer this and got an answer today. So what's going on as far as, now this isn't coming out until next year, early next year, so we got a ways to go on this. It will call industries, and it will call it, and cars will show up at interchanges, so that you're basically taking the cars from the interchange and working your railroad, bringing the cars back to the interchange, and away you go. How that mechanism works, I'm not sure. I also asked about the whole repeat playability, and how industry, things will change and make it interesting for, because even my son said, well, after so long, I mean, would it get boring or routine? And of course the danger is, yeah, of course it would. I mean, all things are like that. But they got that as far as in mind, and all that other stuff. So I'm like, okay. Plus he's proto-lanced, and he's got whatever operations he's got in mind that he thinks is cool to run or be interesting, right? But he says one of his main goals is to have repeat playability. And he knew exactly what I meant by that. Somebody else was in the channel who was already following this, knew who I was, and it was right away. It was like, oh my god, You're getting on board with this? This is awesome. I was like, yeah, I'm getting on board with that. You're damn right I am. It's not about abandoning Run8 or giving up on Run8. I don't know. Who knows? Run8, I might come right back to Run8. Nothing's been able to beat it. And I'll never basically say that, oh yeah, Run8 doesn't have this, Run8, this. Run8's great. You can have a great program and not necessarily be the one you use, or decide not to even use at all. I still have, like I told people, trains I don't have an issue with. I may be running trains if Run8 wasn't available right now tonight. It's tempting, but I really don't need to run trains right now. Didn't need to run this either. If I had, certain ambitions aside, I'd probably be developing right now. But I don't. But I'm not there. I'm not in that frame of mind. So I decided, yeah, I'm gonna try this for a while. I'd much rather do this. I started thinking about things seriously. I'm like, yeah, I had the development bug. Actually, I got the development bug more when I saw this program. I thought to myself, okay, well, I don't have to worry about that short line idea I had. Now I can cross that off my list. So what else can I do? And then I started thinking about the things of what else I could do, and I'm like, okay, well, I know my little niche that I wanted to take care of, so let me take care of it. But anyways. Okay, we're coming to the river. Let me check the chat. What we got here? That's why I quit. That's why I quit. Oh, I see. Some people said the track layout was off. Some people say the track layout was off. Which one? I don't know. They should be worried. Train Sim World 2 is crap in my opinion, but Run8 is good. Yeah. Open Rails. I'm not much into Open Rails, but that's just me. I know some people who are. I'm actually Railroads Online. I'm actually keeping an eye on Railroads Online because that could get interesting again very shortly. Oh, are they doing workshop? Yeah, the SW1. That's right. Yeah, I saw the I saw some of the engines that they had in there. Donner and it's off by a country mile? Oh. Beats the hell to me. Maybe you did in February and I just had forgotten about it, or I saw a steam engine. I don't remember. But you just showed it to me and I was just like, oh, okay, I'll take a look. I was like, whoa, hello. I would have checked out something if you had mentioned it, and then I would just look up the Steam and say, oh yeah, here it is. But that's cool. And I know they had some type of shake-up or something. I don't know what the hell that's all about. some type of politics. Who knows? Not worried about it. It's not my business. So this is what the train routings will do. Once you have your symbols and you make sure your symbols match your train routings, most of the default will match it, some are and some won't, but if you have problems, this is where your issues will become, is junctions like these. So the AI dispatcher, the auto, knows to route me to the Jessup sub because this train's going into Waycross. It's going to know to route me into Waycross as well. Oh, I gotta take that thing off. I was wondering what the hell was out my side. That's one of the. This is one of the industries we're talking about. The industry markers from earlier. Ah, wrong button. Industry tags. Take those off for now. While we're at it, and I think I'm a little bit away from doing too much here. What do we got here? Let me go ahead and see if I can get the trains set up for inbound Q605. So 2 o'clock, that one's canceled. That one's canceled. Q491. Wait till I get out in the boonies a bit here. Actually, I'll destination Milepost tags, that's what I want. That'll give me a little bit of an advance warning of stuff that's coming. What did I say the train was going to be? Q491 inbound. So that comes from symbol raw. Nahanta sub. Okay. So if I go down here to crap, don't bug me. Ludowiski main, train types, mixed freight. Hello? What the hell's going on? Oh, you're in the siding. Okay. Q491. So I got all the filters on right now. I don't want to have that. Yeah, here's the problem with running a train while trying to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and get all those. Wow, as soon as I did that. As soon as I go away, it's just like, yeah, no, you can't do that. Let's see if I get Wilson, Tampa, Lakeland. So Baldwin, I think it's all of these anyways, but Wilson, Tampa, Lakeland, Win Mall, CFL. Ah! I see it there. Miami, GFL. Once I go through these I'll know which ones from now on. Mobile, New Orleans. Because it's not all of them. Okay. Then from here, we go with the numbers. A772, A768. God damn. I got a crossing, I don't care. We'll pretend it's a quiet zone. 772. So I'm filtering all the places, or all the blocks that I want to have. That's gonna call stuff. A772, 768 is already in there. 753, 759. Y124, 767. Yeah. I want to keep that off there for a second. Y124. $767, $766, 84, 85, 90, 99, 784, 85, 99. Yeah, I'm gonna hit every one of these by the looks of it. Not quite though. Close. FCRR. Yeah. I think that's everything. So when you look at that, 75, 70, 775, 776, 780. I'm not too sure what those are. Let me just double check. There's a 766. 757, 76, 780. Okay, 780 I don't have anything set up for right now, that's why. I don't know what the 775 and 776 are. Got a funny feeling they may be locals within the yard, but that's okay. So this is where stuff is set up, and it may not be set up towards yours. Like Bostwick, okay, that's the power supply. I don't care about that. HNC, see now then there's the other ones going the other way. Like these Ks, those are unit trains. HNC. HNC I think is one that I'm bringing the opposite way. Yeah, see? So I started doing that. Just getting an idea, but that's eventually that's going to become more and more. Y103, Y291, yeah, I don't have to worry about those. Okay, cool. So now that train's all ready, and that becomes the prototype for anything that's anything that I'm running southbound. We'll have to see how the industries look. This is an experiment to see what the locals are going to be like. I don't know. Beats the hell out of me, but Hello, Matt. So over here, I can put prototype set. And we're scheduled to come inbound 491. Stay standard used. Whew. First yawn of the night. But yeah, the railroader, is it called? I can't remember now. Whatever it's called. It's coming in 2023. It's just a private road, but it's looking like it's going to be probably the one I choose to run. But there's so many options right now. Railroads Online is actually starting to... I mean... Here's the thing with Railroads Online. It's kind of a toss-up between Railroads Online and Run8 in some ways. Railroads Online, yes, you can build whatever you want for whatever you have, but essentially you're building the industry's set to whatever. Yeah, you're building the track the way you want it, and that was an intriguing concept at first. I kind of liked it. But for me, it actually started to grow old a little bit. Actually, the further I was away from it, because I never really was fond of it, because it was just like, okay, well, you got your little set areas, and yeah, there's different ways you can come down the mountain and all this other stuff, but different ways for a lot of people to do a lot of different things. But the industries are where the industries are. If they could, and I think this has something to do with the fact that it's in Unreal, and that is a second there. A sunspot or something. Got a little dot all of a sudden that showed up there. Yeah, it must be a sun shadow or a moon shadow or some goofiness. Oops, did that too early. Oh, it's way down here. Wait for the whistle post. I don't know, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, there's the little blip. So, what this new one that's coming out next year, and people have already beat me to it thinking it. They said at least one or two people right away said this reminds them of a combination of Run8 and Railroads Online, which I agree totally. Do I expect it to be a better simulator than Run8? No. Not when you have 10 years of development behind this. And the development that they have behind this is, we know the contacts they have with professional engineers and conductors. They got quite a bit of it down pretty damn good. Is it perfect? No, we know that. But it's still the best, in my opinion. So, I don't think anybody should expect perfection anyways. Fitzgerald sub, that's another one. That's like something that I personally am looking forward to. Gotta wait for the whistle post sometimes. No, that's the signal, dork. But yeah, Fitzgerald sub. Once Fitzgerald sub comes out, I will probably abandon the other two portions of the Southeast and focus primarily on Fitzgerald. Which will give a nice mainline run as well as locals, mainline switching, and that for me will be very cool. But right now it would be a toss-up between giving up Waycross, which is potential. I could give up Waycross, but then I'd be focusing on industries that are just, stuff I really... You're dealing with multiple industries. And don't get me wrong, there is industries on Fitzgerald. The difference is there's a lot of big industries and what have you. There's also a lot of unit trains, I believe, that go down there, so a little bit of a different animal. Don't know exactly yet. Which also leads me to, well, number one, what Railroads Online was good about was I didn't have to worry about what prototypically was done to a certain line. Now, I don't need to know exactly what's going on this line either. And of course I don't. I can't tell when the bell's on. Yeah, whatever. But Railroader, they basically do that all for you. Here's your switch list, just go and switch. I'm like, yep, I like that. I mean, that is very appealing to me. Because for a lot of people, like, and what I've shown tonight, you know, you can do it as simple or complex as you want. Depends how realistic you want it. Okay, so, oops, I get close that off. I'll go ahead and I'll spawn this one. So this, again, utter peon. I don't want that. I'm going to go low. So I've already filtered everything that I want. Now I go ahead and I spawn it. And that's spawning at Ludowiski siding. And when you look ahead at the AI status, we now have 6 AI trains on the system, including the Q491 that we just spawned. We're both heading to Waycross right now. So it's almost 12 p.m. Eastern. It's just past 2:32 on the my clock here, the sim clock, not the server clock, because I'm not running a server right now. So this was spawned. This one's being canceled. The next one's not till 4 a.m. I'm not doing that one tonight. That's an hour and a half away, so I'm going to be in bed by then. So I don't have to worry about spawning any more trains. I don't have to be running this train either. You can AI train this in as well. But it's kind of cool because I had nothing else to do. There was no switching. There was no nothing else. I'm doing this from the start. I thought, yeah, I'll run the mainline train in and you know, see what I got. I didn't expect much traffic either because things are just starting to warm up. I think there's a train behind me. I can cheat and take a look. What's going on with NS here? Oh, he's still running. He's running, but he... Okay, never mind. I don't know what's going on with him. So if I look at what's happening here, there's a train that passed me later on. Birchburg Ganza. I thought there was a Q200 train that probably tried to spawn in, but it couldn't make it. What was my last signal? Clear? Okay. And then Benson. And that's all for that. Now I'm over on this side. So here's the train I just spawned, 491. And he's going to be heading down the Jessup sub. I'll beat him. There's a train that's coming out of, well, here I am. So I'm coming up to Waycross now. I'm not going to have any That's why I started looking now, because I knew I wasn't going to have any interference. The only thing was going to happen is actually this guy that's coming right now. I don't know where he's going to be when I come in, so that'll be interesting to see what happens there. The yard's empty, so we got a grain train that came out of Bolin, so I might meet him along the way somewhere. He might hold off while I head into the yard as well. Hard to say. Now there'll be other tricks along the way that I'm going to try to deal with, stuff that I call escape valves. These are ways to assist you from running mainline trains or running extra locals or extra regional manifests that don't have any place to go, but you want to turn it around so that you have a train going the other way. There's ways of doing that. Right now, all the intermodals spawn and destroy themselves. So they do that on purpose. I do that so that I don't have to worry about dealing with handling Jacksonville Intermodal. Of course, that's there for if you have a larger group, or if you decide, say for example, you want to center your operations on Jacksonville. That was an option. I had thought about that. It was certainly a thought. But I thought about it a little bit. I was just like, I don't know if I want to center on Jacksonville. There's still a lot of industries to switch down there. I'm not 100% too sure if I'm ever going to be comfortable in switching those industries, but I'm going to give it a shot and see what it's like. So that what that does is it gives me an idea to know how long certain trains take, and this is part of what I'm going to be doing this month. So you might see a lot of live stream action. I'm going to go through this little by little and break it down, because a lot of people don't know what the hell they do when they well, how do you operate, how do you bring locals in, and all this other stuff. So we got two right now. I got the one coming into Waycross. There is a save, although it's changed already tonight because I've already updated the traffic file for the one coming in. But the data's out there. I just change it all the time. It's constantly evolving. still running here. Just want to make sure of that. Okay, so we're not going to do any more of that tonight. Oops, that's not what I wanted. So, I think the plan's going to be tonight. It's 12:05 Eastern. I'm going to get this train into Waycross. I may or may not take the power off and hump it. I got a funny feeling I might just park it. Of course, I have a hump configuration that I use. Three, 3, 6. All right. Well, okay, I see something there. wish there's a way that I could count. I could probably count them, but you almost have to get a manifest. That's something I'm going to have to consider doing. Because trains normally have their manifest, so you know which car it's at. So you don't have to friggin' count how many friggin' axles you got. Pain in the ass. I think it's fine. I think it's... As soon as this goes like this... I mean, it may come back, but... It's just probably a... Yeah, it's still there. Well, it didn't show purples. I don't care. So that's what I wish it would print a manifest. I know it can do switch list, but I wish it just would do the manifest. That'd be nice. That's something I could possibly suggest sometime, but I don't feel like suggesting right now. I feel weird suggesting stuff, especially when I'm talking about other programs and shit like that, so. And it's not that I don't want to see Run8 succeed, I do. I just feel, what would you say? Kind of like I'm giving up on the home team, or I don't know what the hell it is. Because I'm not. It's just I'm... You know, we all have choices in life, so... But this is a choice that many people are going to prefer. They're not going to want to run steam trains. I'm not into steam, quite frankly. I'm much more into the modern stuff. What I do like is the idea of short lines or stuff that a single player can actually handle. What's it looking like coming in? There's a grain train and a K train, but he's going to be holding. He's going to be holding right at the South Y by the looks of it. It looks like I'm lit up. The other train coming that's coming down to Waycross is lit up through West Jessup. See, I'm set to come into RO2. Oh, I know the formula. It's just I don't feel like counting how many cars I have to go down. So, my point of the manifest is this. I'll get to your comment in a minute, Scott. So, when you have a manifest on you, you got this thing. So, I can look at a manifest and say, alright, well, axle, I look at my list and I work down the list instead of totally scrolling down this way and trying to find out, oh yeah, it's this one. There's the problem. So yeah, I can do the math. That's not a problem. It's just when I see axle 336, that's a message that literally is prototypical. What's not prototypical is that there's no manifest. These are the kind of things that, again, it is what it is. It's an improvement. It's something that they can easily add in. But they got a lot of things they can easily add in. So there's only so much they can do, and I haven't even suggested it as an idea yet, to be quite honest. But it's just, something that I looked at and I'm like, yeah, it's a bit of a pain in the ass when they give you an axle number and you gotta go try to find a hotbox. The other thing I find too is that damn hotbox comes off way too often. I think it's still, the randomization is high. I've said from the get-go, the way they do random numbers is too, I don't know what the hell it is, routine. It's not truly random, but yeah. It becomes pattern, but I don't even know how the hell they do it. I just have my theory. I'm more of the data guy than more of the logistics guy, so. Now when it comes to, like Scott was saying about the horrible looking trees and all this other stuff, which he's just being a smart ass. He's poking fun at some people. Waybill. I mean my waybill. The waybill. Call him a manifest now. You have a manifest. The waybills are the what do you call it? The waybills are the what each car has as far as where it's going. I think at least that's what they call them today, anyways. Because I hear it all the time, at least in Canada, I call it. They'll print off a manifest. What do you mean I'm waiting for a train? You talking to me? I'm waiting for a train? No, I'm not. You're full of shit. I ain't waiting for a train. You waiting for a train. He's waiting for a train. Nobody waiting for a train. I'm going. Piss off. I got yellow light, I'm going. I don't know why you said that, but... Oh, honk honk. Yeah, they'll print a manifest in their little printer and get things going. But yeah, that'd be nice. So have you checked out Railroader, Scott? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Or were you the one? No, Quincy was the one that showed me Railroad. I think I showed you, or did I? If you haven't checked it out, I thought I was. I know you and I were emailing different titles back, but anyways, Railroader is fabulous looking, and I just to say just to keep you in the loop there, Scott. What that has is exactly what I'm looking for. I mean, I wouldn't say exactly. I would say you're never gonna get exactly what I'm looking for, but it's the closest thing I've ever seen as far as. And don't get me wrong, there's a lot of things in Run8 that I like that thing isn't gonna have. Such as running more prototype, or not prototype. Wrong word. more modern trains. I'm not too much for a transition era, but I'm okay with it. Um, I'm still looking forward to it, anyways. It's an era that I'm not familiar with, since it was, a little before my time, but still, it's an era that I have a lot of curiosity about because of what things were like as I was younger in the 70s, watching railroad lines being torn up between then and, you know, to more recent times. That sweet transport's kind of interesting as well, Scott, but I don't know what it is. I couldn't part with my money for it. It looked interesting, but it also looked too much like a toy. I can't explain it. There was just something about it. But it actually inspired me to get back to developing again, and of course that was what I planned on doing, and then here I am back in Run8 because, you know, I'd rather play than develop. So I'm playing. And I wanted to do something trains tonight, so here I am. And now that I've started, I probably won't stop for at least the rest of the month now. I'm still gonna run my boat. I was getting bored of running my boat still. I ran Sailwind Sailwind tonight, and I was heading. I don't know what happened. I was heading to an island, and I think I fell asleep, which is what you got to do. You sleep on a hammock, get your rest, and I think I overshot the island. So, of course, I don't have any proper. We're not talking modern. This is, I mean, we're talking, not forget GPS. Hell, you don't even have lighthouses then for some stupid reason. But so I started heading back to the big island that I could see, and just went from there. Oh yeah, I'm 15 here. So once I pass the AI detector, the RTS software will record that and. Proceed on signal location. Okay, I will. I already had a signal indication, but thanks anyways. Where's that train? Ah, he's just coming through. I just missed him. Where are you? Where are you, train? There we go, I don't see him. Apparently he's up and around the corner somewhere up there. Anyways, whatever. So what's my symbol again? Oh yeah, my 602, yeah. So RTS is recorded 602. I'm at 8,402 feet, coming in at South Waycross. So that can be added to the AI. I love how everything's lit up as I'm coming in. Cool, cool, cool. Whee! Oh yeah. The waybills could have the cars in order placement within the train, so when you get the ugly message of issue and axle, uh, conductor would have a general area of the train to look at. Ah, yeah, I see what you mean. Now, do they do that? Have they done that in more? Does the conductor have all the waybills, or does he have just a printout these days? Because from what I understood, all he had was a manifest. Because a lot of times they would ask for a manifest, but I could be wrong. Steam's also not my cup of tea, buddy. I was going to point out the train game short line. Figured I'd already seen it at your end. Yeah, short line was what that was, I think, correct? Yeah. So back then, though, they would have all the waybills with them. The conductor. I see. Because I know in model railroading they do that. They keep the waybills together. We used to do that even in the '70s era, but we have these little car cards, and they'd have the waybill in the car card. But from what I understood, and I could be wrong on this, the waybill would have the shipper, the consignee, they would have what everything is about that car. Nowadays, the only thing it has on it is if it's being set off or not. The car, the feet, reporting narcs, all that other stuff. But it wouldn't have necessarily the consignee and the shipper on it. It would basically say, if it was being set off or not. Well, you'd have a wheeler report, I think, or a switch list, and then you'd have a manifest, and that's it. So it could print you out a switch list, which would tell you, what tracks to put everything in, or at least where everything was, what train it was headed on to, or which block it was going into, or whatever the case may be. I've seen. I think I've seen manifest printouts as early as the '80s. I think. Well, no, sorry, I'm thinking of the flimsy. Actually, no, it's not the flimsies I'm talking about. Back in Niagara Falls, I used to see them sitting around on the tracks. And they'd have they'd have the weights and tons and they'd have your weights. They would have. I'm sure they would probably have dangerous or anything like that, I would imagine, but Oops. Yeah, 15.1 will be fine. So was there any was there any gossip I missed tonight, Scott? Or hmm. So this is what I was talking about before with this new, the way this sim actually does it. The railroader that comes out, the angle cock handle is on both sides. The only thing that doesn't show is an uncoupling bar. You actually click onto this, and that will uncouple it, which, as far as I know, is not the case in real life, or even back then. There was always a bar, as far as I know, but Scott can verify that to me, but I kind of like the idea of that, but it seemed more intuitive. Plus, instead of having the things on the top like you do here, which is cool, there's nothing wrong with it. When you look at the car itself, it actually has the information, and it has all the information of the car. It shows the car number, the destination it's going to, whether it's loaded, empty, whatever. So I think that's pretty cool. Let's see here. We'll go with Short Hood Trail. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I think we'll go down below. Way too fast. Oops. We'll point out the Sean Merle bouncy house effect with video games. What do you mean the bouncy house effect? What's that supposed to mean? What, that I keep playing different games? I mean, I usually love being a shit disturber, but honestly, it's tiresome with some people. Especially when they're too easy. If it's too easy, it's not fun. I like the challenge. Alright. So I could probably update the AI since I'm here. And how things going. Okay, so he's got a light up to Offerman now. 302's cleared through. So everything is going nicely. So now, as in the Yardmaster role, I'll get myself set up, but then I'm not going to be running anything because obviously I don't run the server, so overnight or anything like that. No more running things just to let it sit there idle. I mean, that's something I do not want to do anymore. Is just run a server for the sake of running it. If I had 10, 20 people on, yeah, but it's just a waste to have a computer do nothing. You know, it's got nothing to do with Run8. It's got nothing to do with people. That's just the way it is. And I can still have fun either way. So. Trucker, trainman, tycoon. Yeah. I don't know. Okay. So I'm going to go into grab my AEI data. So now I go into my AEI. I open up Waycross, and all I care about is the train that I have, not the old stuff from before. So see, if I had done this, then I would have had a manifest. I could, in theory, like this is easily a manifest. Let me see here. I forget what axle it was, but I can even inspect it, but I don't give a rat's ass. We'll pick it up. So there's Q602. Oops, 602 followed by a 302. All right. So now we save that. I think I closed that up. And then what I want to do is go into this. I want to file, import, upload. Oh, I guess I did want to use that one more time. Upload the way bill data. Make sure I replace the current sheet. Import. And then I grab everything out of that I just did. They're all in nice little fields, and whatever other goodies I need, copy that. And then I go over to my Waycross AEI, come up to here, Control Shift V. And you can see the feet calculates now for the car type. Obviously it doesn't have the engines, but that's okay, we don't need that. This location is now, I don't know what track it's under, but we're just going to go ahead and I don't know what track that is considered. Let me see. Let me see if I have a track number on that. I guess that is... Did I say R13? Well, that's interesting. I never knew there was an R13. Okay. Well, we'll call it R13. And I know these guys are in R02. So we're 129 cars. What was our axle again? I'll find out what car it is. We'll take a look at it. Maybe. Let me see if I can remember back in the chat. I don't even know if I mentioned it. I think it was mentioned to me though. Da, 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 da. Oh yeah, the 18 by the engines, so 612. It's actually more than 18. There was at 4 engines, so that would have been 24. I forget which axle it was. I don't care. I could look in the log, but I don't care. So that's one way of doing the manifest. Another feature thinking of Wayville's manifest is many of the crews have a company tablet that also receives the AI info along the way, which will give them a car's location within helping save them a foot. Ooh, neato. Trying to recall the electronic pad I had issued while in last days on the service. Oh, really? They gave all basic info and crew could make input using a stylus. Oh yeah, the stylus pens? Wow. That's interesting. It's pretty good. That's pretty good technology back in the caveman days. I think they had iPads back then, or no. I know. I used to have. What the hell did I used to have? Oh, you mentioned stylus. Oh man, I forget what they were. They were like digital planners. I just had to have them too. It's so crazy because now everybody wants an iPad or an iPhone or some crap like that, which I could care less. But it was a Palm Pilot. They called them Palm Pilots, and they had a stylus. And yeah, everybody had to have a Palm Pilot. That was probably in the 90s, I think. I think that, oh yeah, it was past the 80s. 80s was Commodore 64 kind of thing. That was my programming. That was where I became interested in programming, was in the 80s, because I'd program a Commodore 64, but much easier to program than some of these computers today. Much easier graphics, too. Crappier graphics, much easier to program. But the Palm Pilot, I think it was in the late 90s. That's before the phones started getting fancy too. I mean, the phones were, I don't even know if they had the flips or they even had the bigger ones. But they had the big ones in the 80s, but I think nobody had phones back then. But 90s, it was starting to come along, but they didn't have the apps. They had the flip phones, which is what I use, because I don't need anything else on my phone. I don't want to be tracked. I don't care. I turn the damn thing off, and I don't want to be bothered by telephone calls. Okay, yeah, anyways, that was fun. What am I showing you here? Oh, okay. Mr. Slates and Bedrock. Yes. Yeah, the flip phones are awesome. I have a flip phone. Simple little flip phone. They still make them. Oh yeah, anyways, let me finish off my paperwork here. So I got this assigned RO2 now. So when I go into... This is just for planning. Nobody has to do this stuff when they're on the server. This is something that I totally get here. So if I was to go ahead and... Where is it? Car files? No, that's not it. Is it Waycross Logistics? Waycross Chart? Oh, I guess that would be it. Next hump. Oh yeah. So the next hump would be RO2. Hello? I think it was RO2. Well, I don't know why that's not working out, because that's the next hump I have set to. I gotta take a look at something. What the hell is going on here? Is it RO2 or did I put it as something else? Yeah, I have it as RO2. So the next thing I said I was going to hump was RO2. So by rights that should be doing it, and I'm not too sure why it's not. Again, I haven't used this in a while, so I don't know what is going on with this thing. Summit Waycross AEI L2X2681. So if it's equal to A19, which is RO2, I'll take a look at it again. This is weird. Okay, something is different. I think I know what's going on. If left H6, comma 4. It's the way it's picking up the data, because it's calling for 4 characters, which it doesn't have. I could space it out, but I'm not going to. But what the yeah, it's a pain in the ass, because what happens is the tag. Oh man, I can make this a very complicated formula if I really wanted to, but I really don't want to. I don't know why it has to call for those. Yeah. Anyways, I know it's not picking it up, because I had it set up for those other industries, and now I'm trying to do it the other way, and it just doesn't work as well going that way. But anyways, it'll work for the next train. Yeah, the next train will have a bunch of tags. I'll show you real quick here. The next train that's coming down. Is he here yet already? No, he's not here yet. Oh god, I'm never gonna find him. Let me just go right to him. Q491. So you can see everything's starting to fill up nicely. So you can see the tags, right? So they have the industry on one side. But this is where it, like, if it has a space, so I gotta get it to pick up on that. Because here it's picking up on those 4 characters. But there it's not picking up on the 4th because it ends. So I gotta find a little formula that'll work that way. That's what's happening there. So this is what all the those industries that I was talking about at the very beginning. So you can see Y124, okay, it's got 1 car. FCRR's got some cars. .772 has some cars. A767 has a bunch for Georgia Pacific. Now those those spread out for the most part. Actually, yeah. Now, A799 spreads it out a bit. So the more you have to choose, the more it's going to give you. Georgia Pacific again, 767. There's an HPP in there, an LFG. Now that seems to have a little bit more, but how much more, I don't know. 759 looks diversified enough. I think it'll be okay. But anyways, that's how you get stuff going. You know, I have some extra toys or whatever, but you can see it's filling up nicely. So what you want to do is just you want to keep an eye on things, make sure auto's lining up correctly the way you want it. We just go back to here. And then in my next session, what I will do, might run it tomorrow night. We'll see. For a couple hours, I might run it during the day off stream or whatever. But we'll see how it goes. But I know how to fix this little bug, and it's not a big deal. Easy fix. Anyways, so from here I go into world. I'm going to save it to something else now. Oh, I don't know what to call it. We'll just call it Southeast. And then we're all set. Sat world saved, we can continue from there and blah blah blah. And we'll get out of that. And from here, I control end my program, or control break, I should say. Because that's the only way I can get out of my program, which is not the way you want to get out of programs, but all stuff I would have to fix if I ever want to fix it, which we'll see. Let's see what else we got going on here before I let you guys go. Formulas. Okay, guys. That's it for now. I might be on tomorrow. We'll see. I'll try to start doing this again a little bit more often, but if I'm in the mood. If I'm not, then I won't. Sounds about good. But so far, I'm okay. I'm curious to play it out, at least for now, under my own terms, and at least then we'll see how what I'm up against, and then from there, escape valves will be the next way of relieving some of the pressure of single player. That'll be down the road. But next session, I will be preparing to get those two trains humped. I'm not going to worry about cleaning up the bugs. I might. I'm not too worried about it. I know what's going on there. Um, they're pretty well distributed for now, but eventually I'll get the AEI. I made a change to try to get the AI to count how much feet there is per particular tag, and trying to filter through that is a little bit of a pain. Originally, I went with, yeah, it's just, anyways, I'm not even going to bother complaining because it's 1:07 a.m. I'm going to go to bed. But that's it for now, guys. Hey, have a good one. We'll talk to you later. See ya.